show me last weekend. Watch out.
I did.
Mike's wrong. YouTube is on.
Hi, YouTube. Nobody listens on YouTube.
Well, we can't talk. We can't have conversations on the side.
You come on, try to impress the kid. Come on. Junior, senior. Big kid.
You went to a 16th birthday party.
I know, he was hustling all the girls. That's all.
And you can show
We'll talk livestock show. We'll talk CPAC. All that and more coming up on today's Wade and Card Show.
Way to draw him in. That's got him fired
You
up.
gave me nothing to work with today.
Well, I mean, talk about nothing to work with. Look at my right. Ugh. I got static.
I don't know what's going on.
YouTube. All right.
Hey, how are you this morning?
Good, good. Good morning to you, sir.
Let's spread out a little bit, social distance. There we
Okay.
go.
Hey, way to just really drag people into the show with that. Oh, we'll talk about price of gasoline. And you were just like, really?
Had to hurry up.
It's been all weekend. Why do we have that static?
I don't
Let us know
It's
out
in the
there.
headphones. I think it's just in the
I hope
headphones.
it's just in the headphones because we sound like an AM radio.
We are.
You are.
AM.
The AM talk show.
Oh, there you go.
Let's do this.
For everything you need, there's Deerland Feed. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at Deerland Feed. For over 50 years, they've been at their current location, holed up in an old gin building.
Imagine that.
Yeah, doing great. Whether you need seeds, plants, chickens, ducks
This will be the week
for the
to,
potatoes.
to plant your garden after the freeze of last week or 2 weeks ago now.
So 57 degrees and cloudy. And the good news is it's not going to get any worse.
That's where we are. That's where we're staying.
Yeah, starting about 1 o'clock all the way through 6, we have a pretty good chance of rain, up to 60, 70%.
Great.
57 degrees all day, kind of,
Typical Monday.
yeah. Thanks for tuning in. And you guys have a
See
great day.
See y'all tomorrow.
Be safe out there.
Kind of how I feel today, to be honest.
On a serious note, do watch the roads. You're going to school. You're preoccupied. You've got to get the kids there. You've got to get to work. Just slow down just a little bit.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get slid into. Watch somebody just slide on a wet pavement this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you avoided them?
They were beside me, thankfully, a little bit ahead, but I was worried they were going to,
I think a lot of
my
people,
front end.
a lot of people find out they don't have tread on their tires as they're sliding into the ditch. They're like, hey, that front right kind of gave out.
It's amazing.
NASCAR killed everybody. It's like, well, it was pushing in turn 3, and then all of a sudden I slid right into the ditch. All right, what do we got? We're gonna talk to Carter Nelson.
He's kind of, we'll get him in.
His mother is here. There's a chance we'll hear from BJ Nelson as well.
Slight chance.
Don't you think? I mean,
BJ's never met a Mike Sheehan.
just give her a microphone and leave the room because, like, BJ, cover me. I'm gonna go to the restroom. Like, I could go and
It's like
listen
putting
to
on Stairway to Heaven
Yeah.
as a DJ.
Just
You guys
listen
see
to that.
Yeah. You
Song
knew
about
every
it.
time that song got played, it was a bathroom break or a smoke break.
Remember when they used to take a verse out of Lion Eyes by the Eagles because it was like a 7.5 minute song, just bringing you down. She's cheating on her husband. She got caught. Now she's a drunk. It's like the story of Kamala Harris. It's like a biography song. It's a musical. What are you looking up?
I was just, I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know what I was looking up.
it's a Monday.
It is a Monday. I don't know why we're so disjointed
Look,
today.
BJ's up offering to help.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No, I
this
was
lady.
I was actually proud of our Congressman Michael Cloud to put forth a resolution or a joint resolution to ask for an audit of all the COVID money that has been spent or not spent so far. This was in his response to the Save America Act or whatever the stupid name is.
It's
they've given
always
the
something
last one.
positive.
Yeah. But he voted against it on Friday or Saturday morning, whenever that vote took place, which was good because I was against this because most of the spending, as we talked with Michael Cloud on Friday, most of the spending was 2022 and beyond. I mean, it has nothing to do with
It was to
COVID
preserve
relief.
the Democrats' electability
Yeah.
after the turn.
And looking through that, like Howard University was specifically spelled out individually to get money in this bill that was passed over the weekend.
Historically black college. I mean,
But I wonder whose district Howard University is in.
I don't know.
Because how did Howard University get hit harder than any other university through COVID
Didn't.
that they had to be singled out in this bill?
Yeah, it didn't. Some congressman went in and lobbied hard for Howard, and somebody put in some money for him. But they always name these exorbitant spending bills like something you can't be against, like the Protect the Cuddly Baby Seal Act. Like you can't be upset about protecting the baby seals. Howard University is in, imagine that, Washington, D.C., right there in the backyard.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how they can say it's from all of us to them.
Yeah, that $1.9 trillion spending package. In addition to the $4 trillion that's already been spent, or at least earmarked.
The Don't Tase Me, Bro Act. Nobody can be against that. Nobody wants to get tased.
No. So the resolution will require President Biden to provide the House of Representatives no later than 14 days after adoption of the resolution documents relating to any enacted but currently unspent COVID-19 stimulus funding.
President Biden in response said, "Come on, man, I just got here."
Well, what it means is the House won't pass that resolution and he'll never have to turn over that.
But hats off to Michael Cloud.
Trying. Yeah.
Cloud gets it in the record. There's a lot to be said for getting things in the record.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting in the record, how about Donald Trump yesterday at CPAC? Did you see him?
I did not.
You didn't. It's un-American. Well, then again, you are. He shows up late, supposed to be on the air at 2:40, strolls in there at 3:47, just says, "Hey, I'm here." POTUS 45. He clapped. He talked about letting he/she's or these transgender folks into women's athletics. They're going to run women's sports. Going to run it.
High school student in Connecticut filed a lawsuit.
Yeah, he said all the records are just going to go out the window and all that. And I guess, folks, look what we've gotten to. I mean, the whole potato head deal, all that stuff that went on.
Hasbro reversed that decision, by the way, late last night for the flap. So they'll keep Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, not just Potato Head and Potato Head.
So is it Mrs.? They're married in a traditional marriage? Why couldn't it just be Mr. and Miss? Why couldn't it just be Bob and Betty?
Kids, they had kid potato heads, didn't they?
Did they?
I think they
Well,
did.
now they should probably have them. They should make one white and one Asian, or one black and one Asian. They could have their kids out of wedlock. That'd make it more trendy.
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. That's what they're keeping.
What about the transgender potato head?
That's what they got rid of.
They could
That's what they were trying to get. That's the group they were trying to appease, and then they decided. No,
and who cares about that group? What are there, like 50 of them? Put them on an island.
But that's where we are. We're trying to appease every group, and
well, it would be cheaper for them because if you didn't have to make a Mr. and a Mrs., you could just make one, call it like Pat.
One potato head.
Pat the potato head.
And all the pieces.
But do you get all the pieces? Are there man bits?
There were never man bits in the Mr. Potato Head.
But there was a mustache.
Yeah.
I guess you could turn that upside down for Mrs. Potato Head.
That was the.
You could flip that over.
I guess so.
For Pat. I don't get it. I just don't understand when did it become bad to be a boy or a girl? And by the way, shouldn't women be the ones that are most offended by this? The women seem to be the group that we're always trying to appease. Aren't the women being the ones that are eliminated here? I mean, all they do is give birth. It's not like there's anything really important about them. The women are the ones that are eliminated because Billy thinks he's a girl and wants to run track. Billy Bolt, daughter of Usain Bolt. Unbelievable. You have nothing.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I keep thinking you're going to tell me to shut up or something. I don't know. I like it when you do. You know what, Ash? It's shameless. Ash is an Ash. I'm not digging a hole. Come at me, bro. Come at me. 575-9509. You got a he, she for a kid, then you got to run track? Put your boy out there in a skirt and let him run against the boys. Pretty easy for me. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, the girl that filed a lawsuit in Connecticut was a top female track athlete and then lost all her opportunities.
You know what Ash is
form the
thinking?
boys.
I'm looking at BJ Nelson yawn over there. That doesn't help anything. That's a live audience doesn't help.
No, they're yawning.
Carter went to sleep 5 minutes ago. We don't appeal to the youngsters. They're too smart. We don't move quick enough. There's no flashing lights or anything.
David Glass is in this morning. That's where we didn't start. We didn't start with the roll call. That's what probably threw us
It takes
off.
so long now. There's hundreds of them.
Iceman is in. Steve Kidder.
Hi, Steve Kidder.
Brad Miner. Good morning. Matt Boucher. Chris Conrad. Scott Tomko. Jackie Parsons.
Jackie tagged Brian Deerham. That's good. That's always good.
Sheriff Louderback. Mark Jameson. Good morning. Who else is in? Lee Cantu. Trey Molina.
Funky Trey Molina.
Amanda Smith King. Brent Anderson checking in from Cabo.
Hello, sir. You better go to those restaurants I sent you. They will not disappoint.
Lorena Bargenbrook, good morning. Adam Ritchie. Adam Ritchie says, y'all want to talk about the hypocrisy of many Republican business owners receiving PPP loans, then getting them forgiven, and then condemning forgiving student loans.
It's different, but I'm okay with that. I'm with you. It is different, though. I don't
take a loan and I just pay it back.
Yeah, you should. Except the PPP loan, which the whole thing is just a scam of made up money to begin with. When you consciously go in and borrow money to pay for your college, so they're doing the consciously borrowing money to pay for your car, you need to pay it back. I wish Mercedes-Benz would
they won't
send me a note. They send me a note, we're going to come get it. You better make a payment.
Steve Kidder says Representative Cloud is right. Why are we spending more money when there's still unspent billions from the last stimulus?
There absolutely are, like 500 of them laying around doing nothing.
Potato head paternity test results are pending. You can't tell if it's your kid of a potato just by looking at the eyes.
Right there's a good spot to start. If you need the law offices of Steve Kidder to prove the gender of your potato head, reach out to Steve. Contracts, civil law, criminal law, defense work.
Did we say civil law?
We did.
Okay.
We didn't.
You did.
Yeah. If you need help with a will, a trust, if you need somebody just to give you experiential based advice, Steve Kidder is rock solid. Always at the courthouse, a friend of all the judges, your friend in the legal business,
and yours,
your favorite shark in the world of sharks, Steve Kidder. Reach out to the law offices of Steve Kidder. Dana Moore de la Garza, your one-stop death shop.
She is.
She can help you out.
She'll handle all the planning.
Whether you need a plot at the cemetery at Memory Gardens, whether you need, I don't know if it's called a cemetery anymore. You can be like politically incorrect, right? At the death garden, you can go out there.
My friend's dad used to refer to them as bone orchards.
Bone orchard. You can go there. Anyway, she can also help you if you want. You don't know. Maybe you haven't ever thought about it. Or maybe you have thought about it. I want to be cremated, but your family doesn't know. Dana can help you do that. Prepay for it. You're done with it. They'll scoop you up, throw you in the oven. It's easy.
I got the cemetery dad joke for you. As you drive by, you ask the kids, how many people in the cemetery are dead?
All of them.
There you go.
There you
the punchline.
go.
It's because you're a dad.
Yeah, it's an old joke. My kids used to hold their breath when they would drive by them. I didn't understand.
I thought that was through tunnels.
Thought that was sacrilegious. Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray can help you. She's like what I am in insurance. She represents a whole bunch of different lenders and new construction financing. She can help you with FHA, VA, conventional, unconventional, all types of mortgages, and
reverse mortgages.
Not only that, I was just saying, and your refinance. Right now is a great time. Interest rates are low. Refinance with Motto Mortgage. Went services, don't even call them. They're so busy. We have buried them. Wade and Carter has inundated. It had nothing to do with Hurricane Harvey. It had nothing to do with the huge freeze storm of a lifetime. Wade and Carter's advertising has just blown up Went Services generator business. If you need a generator,
if you want a generator,
or if you're smart enough now to realize you need a
You
generator.
need Went on that wall.
Call. You want him on that wall. You need him on that wall. Call Went Services, or you can't handle the truth when your electricity goes off. Reach out to them. USA Concrete Coatings, come in, square up, fill the cracks, clean the concrete, and then put down a tough as nails polyurethane coating. You can put different colored flecks in it.
4 times stronger than epoxy.
It is not slick. It will
Nope.
not absorb oil. It won't stick to your
Won't
tires.
crack, won't peel, won't fade. It's awesome.
It's almost like, what's that stuff called that you put on the screen door and make a boat out of it?
Flex Seal.
It's
better
just
than
like
Flex
that,
Seal.
but better than Flex Seal. How about that? Yeah, take that.
They haven't
Flex
tried that
Seal.
with the Flex tape that's available, though. Have you
Right.
noticed?
No, you've seen that video though. The guy's got it's coming out. He just takes a piece of tape and just sticks it on there. That never works.
It does with Flex
It
tape.
does with flex tape. There you go. So
And the magic of editing.
I guess we've put off as long as we can exposing our listener
Yeah.
base
To whatever this was
to
this
whatever
morning.
this is going to happen.
This might be the low point of the.
Could be the low point of our show.
No, not coming up. This opening segment might be the lowest point we've ever had.
No pressure. We need y'all to bail us out. We're going to get you to share that microphone because, Carter, as you know, you don't have to say much. Your mom will be right there on the mic. And then when BJ's here, we do this just to keep her on her toes. So if y'all feel free to come up here.
She might pull a hammy, though.
So it's livestock show week, and we're gonna and Ash is gonna move the camera, and we wanna get like news straight from the source, and we have it just so happens a sponsor, BJ Nelson from White Trash Services, and her son Carter. Ash, that's whipping you, isn't it? He's trying. Now there you go. Now he's got it. So we have a microphone. That microphone is on, and you can move it. I want you to, get it to where you feel comfortable. But just talk right into it. It's unavoidable. It's like
Pretend it's not
it's
there.
like going to the dentist. You're gonna have to step up here and talk to us. It's just the way it is. So this is Carter Nelson. Carter, tell us what's going on. Tell us anything you want to tell us about what's going on with your animal
And you can hold that up to the camera there, and everybody can see the
Yeah, bring us up to
that
speed.
you've got, because it's a good looking pig.
That's a fine looking pig. Whole lot cuter than that. What was it? Wilbur. All right, buddy. Talk right into that microphone. Tell us what's up.
Okay, so this past weekend was the Victoria Livestock Show. I had my pig, and tonight's the auction, and will be all the animals will be sold tonight. And there's 251 pigs or animals.
Tell me this. There's 2 divisions, right? And your mother told me about this. I'm not being silly here. You've got some places you look at the whole pig, and some places you just look at their carcass, right? And that pig's committed. I mean,
Yeah.
that pig is in the show. You know what I'm saying? So tell me you have a whole pig still, and you're going to sell that pig. But did you also do a carcass?
Yes, sir. I did carcass, and I got 4th place in carcass,
Fantastic.
and then I got 8th place on my market, and I have to sell my market.
So what's that pig weigh right there?
This one, he was about 275,
Okay.
and that's what he weighed in. He weighed 274 going into the show.
It's like me before I met Dawn. All I was bacon and gristle, though. There wasn't any chops.
No chops.
It was just bacon and gristle. So what's it like growing up at your house with BJ Nelson for a mom?
It's a little different.
How does
Sorry,
that?
it's Johnny.
A little different, like you said.
It's a little different. No, of course, we love your dad. I told BJ, you look a lot like your father, and that's a good thing. Your mother's a very pretty lady, but we don't need you to look like your mom. But unless you want to be, unless you want us to call you Betty, it's a modern era, whatever you want. So how are things? Well, you're at West High School,
Say,
St. Joe. Okay, all right, dominating over there, enjoying it. Good.
so what does it take to raise a pig to get it to place high enough to sell in the livestock show auction?
Work.
Lots
of
Cheerios.
Takes a lot of work. Every day going out there, walking, feeding, washing, weighing. Every day, waking up early, going to feed. It's a commitment. I'm not gonna lie, it's a commitment. And all different animals for the stock show. It's a big commitment.
We hear that a lot from everybody we talk to, that when you go out, do you feel, and be honest now, it's a commitment and you had to make it. Did it teach you something or did it just wear you out?
It taught me so much. I learned leadership out of it, responsibility, integrity, just, going out there when it was about 10 degrees. I didn't like it, but
The pig didn't like it either.
It took a lot of preparation to do that. And, you learn what you have to do in those circumstances. Whenever stuff goes at you like Stoga did, and you just have to overcome and make sure he's all right, because then he's going to get you a bunch of money. So
Sure.
You got to make sure he's all right.
So when St. Joe's done, Baylor or A&M? Okay, all right. There's always Texas. It's kind of a combination of the two.
I don't know about Texas.
Probably not Texas. See, cute kid, this one. Cute
What's
kid.
the major? You figured that out yet?
Probably business.
Business. Nice.
There you go. So, and then the auction is tonight at the community center at what time?
4:30.
4:30. Now tell us about, what do you have to do? Like if I wanted to go, what do I have to do? If I say, I'm going to go down and buy a pig, help out Carter Nelson, what do I do?
Show up.
Okay. With checkbook.
Yeah, with checkbook in hand.
BJ's got the details.
Tell us the
That's right.
details.
We'd be excited to have, new buyers always come. Show up. And if you can't get there till 5, we understand, your business isn't closed till 5, that's perfectly fine. It's a great part. I always say it's the best party in town. Open bar, we have a dinner. This year it is unique because the animals are not going to be there. The animals are no longer with us. That was part of the COVID compromise, was that the animals left right after they were shown. So it's just going to be the kid up there, the young person. If you cannot attend, I'm looking at this.
This is a good looking kid. I mean, we ought to be able to auction this kid off. Are you thinking that he's up there like in a Speedo? Just like, yeah, get some of this, ladies. Is it like Win a Dream Date with Carter?
It might be. But if you can't attend, there is an online auction this year, and I want to throw that out there. It's at dvauction.com. And you can go online and get registered, and it is real time. So you can bid on auctions, but, we'd rather have you there, eating our food, drinking our liquor.
Sure.
It's way more fun.
On a Monday night.
On a Monday night, yeah. I mean, what other Monday nights can you go do that?
You call in Livestock Show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So now what does it cost to do? How do you
It is $500 to get in the door to bid, but most people spend that and more. And if you don't end up buying an animal, you can do add-ons, what we call add-ons. And there's a form that's online too. The best place to look for any information is our Facebook page, Victoria Livestock Show. So there's add-on forms, like say John Smith and Susie Smith, and and you're like, man, they worked really hard this year, but I can't spend a couple grand, but I really want to honor them, so I'm going to give each of them $100. Print out that form.
right?
Susie Smith, $100. Mail your check into the PO box at the bottom, and it'll get taken care of.
Robin Janeka has put a link to the add-on form on the comments.
Comments at the bottom.
I like this idea.
VictoriaLivestockShow.com. You can find out all that information there.
I like this idea of charging $500 to get in. Ash and I were saying before the show, you could do that like in a nightclub, and the $500 will go towards your divorce. See?
Yeah, I think we're getting off track here.
That's it. The track. Okay, I'm sorry.
We do have a question for Carter. What did it cost you to feed and raise pigs, or do you have an average? Have you figured that out yet for this year?
Usually at the end of the year, I put all my numbers, put all my checks and balances together and figure out how much exactly I spent. Probably a rough estimate would probably be, there's about $1,000 for the pig itself. And then at the beginning, it kept getting sick, so I had to get shots for it. And then plus feed was probably around $1,500-$1,600.
Wow. So like you're into the pig for $2,500 plus vet fees. I mean, maybe $3,000 worth of pig. Folks, you got to help this kid out. I mean, that's some expensive bacon.
Well, and pigs are kind of a medium priced animal. Like people that raise heifers and steers just to get the animal, and then their feed bills are a lot higher. But like you said, I mean, yeah, the money is appreciated for sure. But the skills that they learn, the responsibilities that they learn, that's what they take with them into adulthood.
David Glass has a question. If you buy an animal, is it your animal?
Like, do you get the meat?
Do you get to keep the
That
animal?
was the compromise this year with COVID. We almost didn't have a show because basically it was just the animals this year. And so, no, you don't get the meat this year. So, but we'd still love to have you come out and support the kids. And then hopefully next year, the meat will be available.
Awesome. Robin Janek is saying, no, due to COVID, the meeting's not over. Yeah, Robin's answering the questions over here too.
Yeah.
She didn't show up this year in her gingham giddy
No,
up.
she didn't.
Her little giddy up.
Robin we live streamed the entire stock show. He started last weekend with the commercial heifers, and Robin was in charge of that. So it was so great to be able to see that. I hope that's something that continues, that we do live stream it. But having the online auction tonight, that's the first time we've ever done that. I think it'll be a neat component, especially if you have grandparents or something out of town. They can't come in because you can only, well, the parents of the exhibitors can't come in tonight, but the like White Bear Services will be there because we're a buyer. When we're also part of buyer groups, that's another option that sometimes people don't know about. Say, oh, I don't want to spend $2 or $3 grand, but hey, I want to, give $300. You can be part of the buyers group, and there's multiple buyers groups throughout. So if you ever want to do that,
Missy Yearwood said, tell you hi. David Glass says,
Hi, Missy.
sincere question. Of course, we have a cynical fan base, but he says, what does COVID have to do with an animal? I mean, animals don't transmit
I
COVID.
don't think the animals got COVID.
No, so
exactly.
They're not
I'm
bats.
curious as to why they can't.
It was about having all the people there and the carnival and.
So who did you have to compromise with?
Let's not go there, Brenda.
Okay. I mean, we'll talk about that at another time because we may drop the hammer on them.
It was a stock show committee. They took months and months to plan all this, and it's not like we have a tractor run on with this,
Right.
as with most things.
Yeah.
Let's always err on the side of paranoia. Sure, no doubt about it, because that pig could give us all.
It was encouraging to see, all the kids there with their families. You can only have two. Yeah, we had to do. Well, you got your wristband on. You had to have a wristband. There was
Right.
different colors of wristband for each day. I mean, they came up with a plan. Or I appreciate and respect that. I just hope next year we don't have to come up with a plan.
There you go.
So Carter, what else can you?
Anything else? Yeah.
Robin says it was the logistics and having the animals processed at the slaughterhouses that
Yeah.
caused probably the biggest
Right.
issues.
A lot of the back at the time they were having to do the planning, a lot of the slaughterhouses were closed down. We're with you.
Yeah.
Somewhere your pig will just be frolicking in a field and never be eaten by anybody. So that's a good thing. That's a good memory for you. Got that going for you. What else you got? Tell us something else. Tell them about what they're going to do.
There.
Help us carry the show.
Yeah, I just hope that anyone else that wants to do a livestock show, not just pigs, there's tons of different animals that they can either get with me or get online or try and find someone they know that's real big into farming or animals in general, and they come out and do a livestock show. Or if you're interested in 4-H, but you don't really want to show an animal, there's hundreds and hundreds of other things that you can do in 4-H. Just some of them that I've done. I've done food nutrition, shotgun, rifle.
Oh, cool.
I've done some,
Leadership.
a bunch of leadership, speaking, a bunch of things at district. And there's just tons and tons of things that you can do, not just livestock.
We've had 4-H folks come in here before. It's an impressive organization.
Really is. And, you learn a lot. That's the one thing that I wish my kids, we didn't move out to the country and they weren't too interested in 4-H, but I've got a grandson now who just loves playing in the dirt, and I imagine he's going to be heavily involved in 4-H. So I'm got a video of him driving the tractor.
He's
older too. So.
He's 14. He just lays there and plays in the dirt. We call him Matt.
Well, he's just imitating your football career.
Right, just lays there.
Pancaked.
Got the jersey at home, still has footprints on it. Unbelievable, this group.
Carter,
Well,
I
hey,
just have a question about your banner.
ask us. You're the man.
Yeah, where's white trash?
You see, that is available, by the way. In fact, I'll let you hook up with Jim Hartman. But the Rocket Oilfield Services, the VCS companies, and then, of course, the locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer are our banner sponsor. And they pay a premium for that. And but everywhere we go, we talk about White Trash Services, don't we? It's a true story.
True story.
True. Like we'll be in a restaurant. If it's not Veracruz, we're like, this food ought to be in a dumpster. Call White Trash. We just yell inadvertently. It's like Tourette's syndrome, but we just
But we keep it
blurt it
clean.
out there. We keep it clean.
Family friendly. Tourette's.
That's right. There you go. Isaac Villarreal checks in, says hi. Good morning, sir.
Heidi Sanchez is in. So the lowdown tonight, give us the time, place, all those details so people can get involved one last time.
Where you check with?
Anytime tonight, Community Center, 4:30, or if you can't make it, go online and look up the Livestock Show Facebook page, and they'll be streaming it live.
And VictoriaLivestockShow.com as well.
You think there's a media pass, Ash, for that open bar? We could go in there and do a little research.
Sure. Robin Janek has an interesting stat. She said last year only 17% of the buyers actually wanted the meat.
Really? Well, there's no doubt. I mean, there's no doubt that the majority of these people are doing something to help out the kids. The meat is just you're still doing the exact same beautiful gift to the kids, which is what the whole thing's about. But I like the idea of rewarding their work. And I think there's some logic to a baseline that, if Carter's already got $3,000 wrapped up in a pig, I mean, he needs to make out on it. And, get 3 or 4 of your friends together, put together a little syndicate and roll and help these kids out, because I don't believe this is like a dying art. I think that 4-H is strong, and I think that the livestock show is going to go on forever. But I think that it takes a community and a cooperation to do it. And this is you're rewarding hard work.
What is it, 76th year of the livestock show, somewhere in there?
75th.
75th.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'd be amazed the number of volunteers it takes to do this. I mean, we meet all year round. If you're interested in volunteering, you chime in and say something to Robin, and maybe we find somewhere to put you. Hundreds of volunteers, and even this year without having all the carnival, and then we usually have I call it the rotunda. I don't know what the name of it.
That round thing.
Yeah. We have stores and different things that will come in there, exhibitors, and we didn't have any of that. And that was an income producing thing. The other thing that the Stock Show does is they give out scholarships. They used to give them out on Stock Show night, and then they started doing it on Saturday night. I heard this year they're doing it like a couple weeks from now. But they give out some substantial money in scholarships to kids that meet the criteria. I think you had to have shown for 2 or 3 years or something. And
it's not a one and done. They reward those who've been involved,
Who've been
and that's
involved
understandable. Absolutely.
And we're involved in some other organizations that give scholarships, and our baseline of giving them is this a good return on our investment? Is this kid going to finish school? Is this are they going to go for the roots and come back?
Natalie Meyer says it's the dome.
Thank you.
But I will tell you this, Carter, one great thing about the, I know John Gilly and the great folks at St. Joe. One thing about that St. Joe education is when you graduate from St. Joe, you're already a junior at A&M. So that's a good thing. You got that going for you. You go up there and take about 8 hours, bingo, you're out. So
That's it.
that's good. That's all it takes. Look, BJ's phone's blowing up. Get away from those guys. They're killing the stock show. We appreciate you coming in. I wish you nothing but the best of luck tonight. I hope that you get up there and say, say, come on, bid me up. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Have the tearaway
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
outfit just in case you
better.
need to, kick it up a notch.
Draw a pig on your chest and then play that Magic Mike song.
Tattoo a picture of that pig on your chest, and I bet
Yeah.
you that's
And
how
play
you're going to
that
raise that
Magic
money.
Mike song with the grinder and all that. You know that song? You should be watching that. Okay. That's it. We're going to take a break in a second when Ash turns the deal around, but appreciate y'all coming in. Right now is a great time to tell you why. You see her smiling face. White Trash Services is simply the best at what they do, period. 550-1826. If you reach out to the great folks at White Trash Services, whether you need weekly trash service in Victoria County or the 5 contiguous counties, Rockport, Holiday Beach, or you want to have a roll-off dumpster for a big project, whether it's building a home or cleaning at your spring cleaning, maybe you don't need a huge dumpster, but you need something that, man, bring it out here, drop it off, come back in a week and get it. I'll have it full for you. The folks at White Trash Service are eager to serve, and when you call the number, you're going to get a hold of a voice. Somebody's going to be there. It's not a Press One Now company. It's a local, family-owned business that'll take care of you and yours.
Did he cover it all, BJ?
Well, also, say you've got that project going on, we do have labor Sometimes the labor looks like this.
Magic
So-
Mike.
Ask him to see that. Ask him to show you his pig tattoo.
Now all of a sudden it's going to be, can Carter come clean my pool? It's not right. Bless his heart. He's only 16 people.
So, yeah, because there are some times that you need stuff pulled out of a house or pulled out somewhere, and we do have the option to.
I got asked this question the other day. How big is the smallest roll off that you have?
It's kind of a reverse question. How big is
Yeah.
the smallest?
Yeah. You know, basically they were trying to ask what size ranges do you have
Yeah,
roll offs in?
They measure them in yards.
Okay.
15 yard, 20 yard, 30 yard, and 40 yard. 15 yard is a bumper pull, so it can get in more places. The 20, 30, 40, we have to use the actual roll off truck.
Okay.
So
If I'm going all in. I want a roll off truck, right?
go big or go home.
I would say if you think you need a 15, go ahead and get a 20. You know what I mean? Because you're going to find more stuff.
Oh, yeah, Carter, we can go out and do a clean out. Does anybody ever say, oh, I really don't have that much stuff? They always have more.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. Best of luck tonight. Get after them. It's always good to see them.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see y'all later. So that was BJ and Carter Nelson. Scott's working. Scott's working right now. And Carl, that whole group, they're all working over there. Okay, you be well. Bye, buddy. Thanks for coming by. So good folks, great business, and a tremendous sponsor. We appreciate them a ton. Might as well go ahead and tell you about the Atzenhower dealership. Since 1926, Victoria's dealer, Chevy, Cadillac, Mazda, Mitsubishi,
Another great supporter of the livestock show over the years.
everything. When you go out there, their name is on everything. The Atzenhower urinal in the men's room. It's everywhere. They pay for that. Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
Selling cars like candy bars.
There you go. Right down the road from high prices, and all their cars are made on Mondays. The Atzenhower dealership.
Chevy, Cadillac, Mitsubishi, Mazda, gently used, pre-owned, that have been hand selected, perused over like all the good
Hand
produce.
rubbed,
Yeah.
lovingly fondled, and put on the lot. JP Hull, Razor IT Solutions.
Call Razor for all your IT needs.
Yeah, whether you want to build a website, build a presence, make it so that
You
your
have a website, you want it better.
Yeah, make it so that it works with your Facebook page, if you're still doing Facebook, and you can. They can also help you monetize your website. They can help you get take payments on your website. A lot of folks have like a good example is if Wade and Carter wanted to sell merchandise, as if anybody would buy it. But if we wanted to sell merchandise, we could put a little red button on the front page, shop now, buy now, and you can put in your credit card and buy it. They make that a secure transaction. They keep you from getting hacked. They keep you from getting sued by people losing their identity through your Facebook page or your website. Razor IT Solutions. Complete 360.
2 locations now to serve you and all your complete nutrition needs.
I went and worked out on Friday before I just had a gluttonous weekend. But I went over and worked out on Friday, and when I left, I said, for lunch, I stopped by and picked up T-Lat and I got a strawberry banana smoothie. She had an energy tea, and you feel good about yourself. You drink a smoothie, and the calories are right. All smoothies are not
Created equal?
They're not. Some of them are just full of fat and sugar and all that. And the folks at Complete 360 can make it so you're on your diet track. We're all on a diet, just some of us aren't.
Faithful.
Yeah, it's just not well. It's just a bad diet. It's a diet. It's a maintenance diet. I was on a maintenance diet for a guy that weighed about 280. Yeah.
So that worked out for you.
Yeah, not so good. T-Lat kind of straightened me up. Oh, there's a caller. We have time.
I think we do.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Good. How are you?
What you got for us?
All right. Yep. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yes, sir, we do. I'm the athletic director at UHV, and yes, sir, that is our policy this year to ensure that our student athlete season will continue uninterrupted and control all the variables that we can control so that our student athletes have a season. And we looked at what others are doing. We looked at best practices. We looked at all sorts of leagues. And so we just decided, in order to best protect the seasons of our student athletes, that this was the way to go. No, we test our student athletes every week. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand that. And, it's interesting because some of the other schools in our conference that allow fans, they're now arresting their kids for 2 weeks because of COVID outbreaks. So, I think we've done the right thing here to make sure that our student athletes have the season that was taken from them a year ago, and that this one doesn't get taken from them again. It's a tough decision, but we're standing by it, and we have the support of our administration as well. It's not, I don't like it. I don't like watching a game with nobody in the stands. But, we wanted to give our student athletes the best opportunity to have a season and not have it cut short or reduced or even eliminated because of an outbreak. And so far, we've been pretty good. So, yeah. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate the call and the opportunity to explain that, because it's tough. Trust me, it's tough as a parent, as an athletic director who enjoys having fans in the stands. But this year, I enjoy more so the fact that our student athletes are actually back on the field playing the games that they love.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. And I'll take it one step further. One of the reasons that we decided to play Coastal Bend in a scrimmage yesterday in baseball, and we played them in the fall in soccer as well, is because they have protocol for their COVID that is in line with ours, testing their student athletes regularly, monitoring symptoms. There are a lot of schools out there that aren't doing much of anything. And we did not want to play those schools. So we appreciate what Coastal Bend is doing. And I've had, numerous conversations with the AD down there. And I know the baseball coach and our coach talked, and I appreciate what they're doing to ensure that their kids can have a season as well, because it's, these are tricky waters to navigate this year. And the decisions, they're tough decisions, and not everybody may understand them, but the bottom line is we're trying to give our student athletes a season that was taken from them a year ago. Yep.
Fantastic, brother. Hey, thank you for
Appreciate
the call.
that. Thank you.
Go Coastal Bend. Hang in there. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. One of the best calls we've had there. A gentleman called in. He's probably thinking, I don't know why they're doing this to me. I want to go to the game.
Yeah.
But he was reasonable. He understood and listened. It's a blessing and a curse that we're as close as we are and that you're the AD, because we did talk at one time, and I was like, I don't know why you can't just put them in there and spread them all out. And then I realized what I know from going to 1 million ball games down there, the game's over and mama wants to go down and hug her athlete, and they're all coming out of the locker room and all the parents are around, and all it takes is one person inadvertently, and they've all got it. Well,
and here's the other thing that affects more than just the baseball team, for example. If I'm there taking everybody's temperature, and, let's be honest, not everybody will be up in the up and up. Somebody wants to go watch their kid or grandkid so badly, they'll pop a couple Tylenol so that their fever doesn't spike, right? Because people do it.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I end up with COVID as a result. The other two staff members that help run our games, Diane and Paul, if one of us get it, our office is shut down because of the proximity and way in how we work. whoever gets it's in isolation, everybody else is in quarantine. That puts the brakes on every sport for the next 2 weeks because we have nobody left to run the game day operation side of things.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the impact. If our athletic trainers end up with COVID, that or that puts the brakes on every sport for at least 2 weeks. And that's what people have struggled to understand. It's not just this sport or this kid. It's the entire department that can be affected and shut down for 2 weeks.
well, we've just gotten very comfortable with COVID too. You'll recall that last year, I mean, everybody just shut down everything. The Big Ten, no sports, and then they went, wow.
On the NAI canceled all the spring championships last year.
So now at least we're getting to play. The kids are getting to play.
And we've got conferences now that are still shutting down. And I question. And we've had schools in our conference that haven't. What we've shown is that we can mitigate the risks. We can monitor symptoms and test regularly to make sure that if there is a case, we can then contact trace out and responsibly isolate and quarantine those that need to be, and continue on with the rest of the seasons for everybody else.
Yeah.
Because we've had great cooperation from our student athletes. They've been honest and factual when we've had to contact trace, so that we haven't had a widespread shutdown or outbreak. And it's helped us move forward to get to this point. We've had, we've lost games from other teams that had COVID outbreaks coming in. And I'll knock on wood here, but we haven't been that school yet.
Yeah.
We've had to shut down and close because of freezes, but we haven't had to shut down and cancel games because we're in the middle of a COVID outbreak.
It's amazing you can keep a group of student athletes COVID free the way that kids are just so random, here and there and everywhere.
But I think it's a great testament to their responsibility and how serious they take it, and they want to play. That's what it boils down to. They understand what it was like last spring and in the fall when we had to postpone soccer. And at the time soccer was postponed, there was no guarantee that soccer was going to play in the spring.
Right. Got a little shout out there from Gilbert Ramon. He thanked me for emceeing the Cub Scout Pinewood Derby. That was Troop 364 out of Our Lady of Victory. And that's like when you're kind of a Brother Gary wannabe, bam, you jump right in there.
They give you the Pinewood Derby. Brother Gary gets the actual NASCAR race.
Sure, I get the Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
But it was dominated by the little girls. They have the kind of, I forget what they call them, like the Me Too's, and their two sisters were really strong.
I made a Pinewood pickup truck in junior high.
Sweet. Gilbert's son Joaquin placed. They had trophies. Great event for the kids. And you look at it, it's just like you look at certain things just make sense as being wholesome, quality, family fun. It was a good deal.
Peter McNally said the Big 12 just had indoor championships. How do you control that many folks indoors? Peter, you have a big budget and you can do it.
Right. It's the Big 12.
That's what it comes down to: resources and money to spend on those resources. I've talked to a lot of ADs who are allowing fans, and they have two regrets. One was allowing fans, and B, they put a lot of their staff who typically aren't in crowd control into crowd control. And I'll be honest, fan behavior at some of these, hearing these stories is another reason why we decided to go the way they were, because the fans themselves aren't listening. They're not staying away from benches. They're not staying away from dugouts. They're not staying away from the student athletes. They're not sitting where they're supposed to sit. It's become almost an unmanageable situation that you're putting staff members into awkward positions that they shouldn't be in. And so, a lot of factors went into it. But the bottom line was we want our student athletes to have a season.
There you go. Adam Dodger says cardboard cutouts. We could do that. The kids don't want to play in front of no fans either, but the best fans are over the fence in right field anyway.
But we've asked our student athletes, and they'd rather be playing than not. Bottom line.
We should probably put together a tailgate out in the right field parking lot.
They're already there.
Are they?
Don't have to organize anything.
They're getting after it.
Yeah.
Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen's your go-to tow-to.
You end up in that ditch between Memorial and the stadium after the game.
Allen
will pull you out.
Watch the roads today. It could be wet. Be careful. Allen does a great job. He's always giving back to the community. Don't worry. Allen Miller will buy an animal tonight. Just what he does. The VCS companies, Rocket Oilfield Services, and the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer, all part of the Hartman Communication empire, and they are our banner sponsor. I'm proud that Carter noticed that, wanted white trash on that banner. I could see the Hartmans subbing them out a corner, calling it White Trash Corner. But the Hartmans have been so good to us and so faithful as a sponsor of the program. So
Since the get-go.
back them up. Whether you need security systems, surround sound, surveillance for your business, fire suppression, fire detection,
Rocket Field Services, they can do all. They can
all
do
your
everything for you.
right-of-way maintenance, all that stuff.
Fencing, gates,
Reach
all
out
that.
to them. And Chesley Furniture Company, 101 years, downtown Victoria. Bobby Leon and his family are at 116 West Swan Lynn, the corner of Swan Lynn and Bridge, and they just do tremendous. We say Chesnick and Love make your house a home. They've always said, you just do better at Chesnick. It's that simple. Reach out to them today. And Veracruz is open. Get into Veracruz today. What would you eat today if you could? Would you get that drowning enchilada maybe?
Today would probably be the beef fajita taco salad without the chips.
Fantastic.
My favorite, my go-to there.
Go in there and tell them Wade and Carter sent you. All of these folks, if you talk to them, please tell them Wade and Carter sent you.
Bob Constantine checking in, Texas Coast Limousine. Tell you what, I had a chance to look at to take a walk through and
I heard it was awesome.
Small tour of the wedding trolley, or I don't even know if wedding trolley is the right word. It's white, and it was at the wedding expo
It's
yesterday.
got the oak benches.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You know, and nobody has just one bridesmaid and one best man anymore. You know, you're talking 6 or 7 on each side of the aisle, and this would be the way to go. If you're going to transport your entire wedding party from the ceremony to the reception, for pictures, this wedding trolley is the way to go. It can hold about 20 people. There's a little area off the back, which would be great for pictures and you know, waving to everybody as you leave.
Keg.
Yeah,
Put a keg back
do
there.
that too.
A
But
Kavanaugh.
you could put everybody in the trolley, and everybody's together. You wouldn't have to have a caravan of limousines. And let's be honest, everybody does limousines for a wedding. This would be such a way to make your event memorable. Everybody,
Unique.
yeah, you know, not only are we going to be talking about the great design Gray Barn does of your wedding, but when your wedding party arrives, they're going to be talking about the trolley that they showed up on.
Call Cheryl at 920-6803 and tell her, hey, I want to plan a wedding. I want to use a theme, and I want to use that trolley. She'll make the arrangements with Texas Limo through Bob Constantine.
Texas Coast Limo, 575 Limo. Give them a call.
There you go. Adam Daughtry says the trolley is very nice.
It really is. It's
Was
really
Adam
nice.
Daughtry hanging out at the bridal expo?
He might have been.
What was he? What's he got going over there?
Looking for a date?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Was he in heels? I don't know.
There's Sippy checking in. So the FDA approved the 3rd vaccine, Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine.
He said Mondays suck. Do you think he's talking about our show?
Maybe.
Maybe it's us on a Monday.
Maybe it's us this Monday.
There you
This
go.
was more like a Tuesday show.
You said J&J got their vaccine?
Yeah, they got their COVID vaccine approved.
Joe Biden did that.
So,
Thanks, Joe.
you know, but Fauci over the weekend, well, even though you get the vaccine, you still got to wear masks.
You know,
Isn't
I
that
think
kinda-
Texas is getting really close to telling Fauci to take a hike.
I think Texas is getting real close to telling the rest of this country to take a hike.
Yeah, I'd be all for it, by the way. I can't think of any other place I would be. I was proud yesterday to hear President Trump talked about the governor of Florida.
Rick DeSantis.
Said he really spoke highly of him, and he stopped short of mentioning Abbott by name, but he said the great state of Texas. I thought that was
Here's
great.
the issue I had with CPAC over the weekend, and some good speeches along the way, but as a party, and don't get me wrong here, I didn't vote for Trump in 16. Right, I voted for Gary Johnson. I tend to lean more libertarian, I guess, in my views. But the danger where the Republican Party is going right now is the idolation of Trump the man, because I think his ideas transcend
Him. Sure.
and should be what the party rallies around. And the Democrats probably do not probably, they do this better than the Republicans. They have their platforms, and they may have a squad a little bit on the fringes or more so to the far left. But when it all's said and done, they can all come together and they get stuff done for the party. You've got Mitt, you've got McCain, you've got McConnell. Now that Trump's not there, their power-grabbing, grubby fingers and egos have certainly rose back up.
Yes.
And exposed who they really are. But the idolization of Trump as a party is dangerous.
I agree.
The ideas need to be perpetuated and carried forward, because there's nothing wrong with securing your borders, having law and order,
America first,
and putting America's interests above everybody else's. When we have 500,000 homeless folks in this country that we can't take care of,
why are we sending money to Pakistan?
But when those ideas now transcend to a person, whether it's Trump or anybody else, that's where you run into troubles. And you can argue, well, charismatic leaders, you need them to win elections. We just had one, didn't win the election. So, I can make the argument against that as well. But we're getting into a dangerous area where the person is more important than the platform and the ideas that the party
and that's
can be
not
built
good.
on.
We're all taught don't turn men into your gods, because they will always disappoint you. Kelly Fromme points out that the "we love you" chants made her uncomfortable. I agree, and you know what? In sincerity, even though he has a huge ego, I believe they made Donald Trump uncomfortable as well. He did say in his comments, he said, I love you too. I look back and I don't recall even Ronald Reagan getting this type of response. And he kind of redirected them back to the message. He really did a pretty decent job of that. I thought that he was very on point, and he did say we will. He pointed out the fact that he said, look, just take this for what it's worth. The Democrats are more vicious. The Democrats are more united, and the Democrats they all present a united front. They don't, he pointed them out. He said, they don't have Liz Cheney. They don't have Mitt Romney in the Democratic Party. Now, he said, the only reason that we need a Republican Party is because the Democrats' platform is so terrible. He said they're totally committed, they're totally bought in, but their ideas are so stupid, Green New Deal, they're so stupid that you need the Republicans to have some semblance of
and there was a former, I think, representative from Oklahoma, and I can't remember his name, but he was on CNN, so that should tell you all you need to know a little bit. Represented Oklahoma for 16 years, I believe, was out in 93, but at one point was an organizer of CPAC, and said he doesn't recognize it anymore, and said Reagan wouldn't be electable by today's Republicans. And I argued, no, that was not the case, because today's Republicans that I know still consider Reagan one of the best presidents we've ever had. Certainly agree with his ideas, because they're not very far off from where we were. He was very much pro-America.
Yep.
Where I completely disagreed with the guy was that Reagan could be elected. And I think this guy was just a little bit, he was lost in the spotlight, and maybe not being, I don't know, maybe this was typically a year when they would have paid respects to him as a former organizer of CPAC, and it didn't happen. I don't know, but he seemed to have his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Dangerous. Feelings are dangerous in politics. Kathleen Leininger says, problem is that Trump is the only politician who kept his word with his conservative promises. That's why they cling to him. I agree with that. And
except the only one he didn't get Mexico to pay for the wall, which, I mean, nobody really actually thought that was going to happen, except the left clung to that. But he didn't clean the swamp. He didn't drain the swamp fast enough. He had too many. He tried to be nice to the rhinos in the party and put people into positions, and they ended up stabbing him in the back. If he would have actually gone in and cleaned house of all the idiots
Yeah.
that ended up leaking information, stabbing
Yes.
him in the back, if he would have drained the swamp from day one like he should have, I don't know that we're not talking second term here, because he would have eliminated everybody and they would have shown their true colors. The Mitt Romneys and the Mitch McConnells wouldn't have been able to come back and show their true colors.
So many were out to get him to protect their own self-interest. But I do believe that Donald Trump will be a key figure moving forward as a kingmaker. I think he'll do good. One thing, Lorena Bargenbrook points out that after PAC 364 had their Pine Box Derby, they had some leftover pizzas. They, ordered a bunch of pizza for the snack bar. They delivered that to firemen and to Citizens Hospital. So I think it's a wonderful gesture, and that's a lot what scouting is all about. So good job, fellas. Good job.
And we're out of here.
All right,
It wasn't a
folks,
good job, but we appreciate
Hey,
Carter and BJ Nelson coming
I
by.
had a blast.
Yeah.
The Nelsons are wonderful folks, and if you need trash service, really do reach out to White Trash Services, 550-1826. Hope you folks have a great day. It's Monday. Be safe. Stay dry. 57 all day. Chance of rain all day. And watch out for the other cars on the